We are here with Suzanne, and she is a first timer here with us. So, what were your impressions of the whole camp and all of that good stuff?
I was super excited to come. The idea of taking a week just to craft was just over the moon to me. And the camp's very nice. The food was better than I thought it would be, but the people really make the whole entire experience. Everyone I've met has been really nice. All the instructors really knew what they were doing. They knew how to teach people and be patient with them. The first day I made 2 baskets with Janie. I didn't just make one, I made 2. And I tried tatting, which I'm not good at, but the tatting instructor was a very patient and lovely woman. I did some needle Ziply art with Ronnie Berman. I did Fuzz let me help him. Or helped me to make a little mini glass nativity with fused glass. And today, Rose, who you that are interviewing me, I did some of the acrylic jewelry. I think it's wonderful that you save the acrylic pieces and recycle them and make something new out of them. Overall, it's just been a fabulous time, and I would tell anybody that wants to try out a bunch of different crafts without buying everything, come and do this. You can do something different every day. You can do 2 different things a day if you want. It's just a great place to try out things that you've never done before that you always wanted to say, hey, what's that like?
Yeah.
I peeked into the sewing room at one point, and they were quilting up a storm in there. And everybody has had just a wonderful time.
There's just so much energy around here, and I think everybody's creative energy just feeds off of everybody else's creative energy, and there's so much intertwining that goes on as well.
Yes.
One craft kind of leads into another, and you have overlaps, and there. Yeah, it's just exciting. Everybody gets excited, and that's the most important thing.
People at every meal, and I got to know people from Colorado. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, but there was some lovely ladies from Colorado, some from Missouri, some from Kansas, and everybody just really, we were happy to meet each other and to talk about our projects together. And show and tell Wednesday night went really well. Everybody was excited.
Oh yeah, okay, yes, we haven't talked about that yet. Talk a little bit about show and tell, what we do with that.
Some people brought items from home, and other people brought items they've made here, and everybody gets a turn to show and tell. And then the items got passed around the room. There's a young lady behind you, Rose, that made some beautiful jewelry, and she showed us all her jewelry. And another gal that does beautiful watercolor ink and fabric, and then she quilts it. The calligrapher showed off her yearly calendar that she makes, and it was so beautiful.
Yes.
She prints them, but before she prints them, every part of it she hand draws herself. And just the level of artistry here and the fun we all had seeing each other's projects was just really wonderful. And just there was a multitude of times during this week where I just got to meet new people, talk to them, learn what they like to craft. They learned what I like to do. There was just every moment there was an opportunity to have a good experience with other people who love crafting as much as I did.
Yeah, I can't think of another place or another experience that's like this. This is so unique, and I think the most unique part about it is you could kind of bounce around. So, like as you can see in the back, there are barn quilts in the back, and I do that. So when somebody's painting a barn quilt, whenever they're literally waiting on paint to dry, they can go over and they can make some. They can make a brooch, or they could work on their calligraphy, and you can felt something, or you could work on your piece of jewelry, or while your jewelry is in the kiln, you can come and make some glass. I mean, where else can you do that? I don't think there's a place like that.
Far more money than you paid for this to go do all these things one at a time somewhere else. And I told them I have to come back next year, because the one thing I didn't get to was the loom weaving.
Oh yes.
But our weavers set up 3 different size looms, and people could loom anything from a small rug down to a little coaster, a little, she called it a mug mat. And it's the one thing I just didn't get to with doing all the other things. So I said, I have to come back next year. And on the very first day, I'm going to weave so that I don't miss out on it. And there were definitely more than 4 days worth of things to do.
Oh yeah, I think you could spend probably a month doing all this stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and going back to the loom thing, that's something that you can't just go buy it. Buy at some store. And especially with the amount of investment that goes into it, if you do want to do it, it would be terrible to go buy a loom and discover you don't like weaving.
Looms are hundreds of dollars, a big loom especially. And so the idea that you can do I ended up buying, my girlfriend is the one that did the Zipley art, and I had such a good time. I bought a little kit from her, so I have the felting needles and all. But definitely for the looming and what you do here with all these paints, if you wanted to do one of these at home, especially one that has the one up there that has multiple colors, you're looking at more money in paint than it would be to
Yeah.
be able to do with you, just to buy the outdoor the outdoor base for it, the tin base for it.
Oh, it's aluminum composite. Yes.
And so by the time you buy all your materials, you better buy enough to make like 8 or 9 of them.
That's exactly
for what you
right.
will come here and do. And when we do all these things, we have great instruction. So anytime we have a question, the instructor's right there to answer our question and say, "Oh no, try this instead," or
Yeah.
let me show you an easier way to do that. So yeah, it's just been an unbelievable, fabulous experience all around.
Well, and it's always fun to be sitting there doing something or being instructed or doing even for the instructors doing instruction, and then just have somebody pop by and say, "Hey, look at this! I finished this," and then looking over your shoulder and say, "That is so cool." So
Yeah, the enthusiasm we all had, and the instructors were so enthusiastic. So I think it made everyone else have more enthusiasm in the end than we would have otherwise. But yeah, I'm definitely coming back next year, and it's been a fabulous experience.
Well, thank you so much for coming, and I'm glad that you are excited about it. We are so excited about it. We're already thinking about next year. And anybody on social media, we have a Facebook group and we have a page, and we're looking for ideas for next year. So
April 2024, I'm all in.
yes. Well, thanks a lot. Everybody, stay tuned. Thanks.
Thanks.